Okay, so since I feel like we're kind of leaning towards it. What's getting worse and worse as you get older, and what's getting better and better as you get older?
My
Oh
back.
God.
My knees.
My
It seems like
my
everybody has a
knees.
body problem.
Body problems, definitely. Yeah.
I definitely feel like, the whole like my mind's getting sharper, my body's not.
Oh, your body's just catching up to your mind.
Your body, so your mind is fucked. Your body's as equally fucked up as your mind. I feel like technology is kind of getting better, but human connectivity is kind of getting worse.
Yeah, you know what? That's crazy.
Like
That's
crazy, yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
because like as connected as we are, as me as a marketer, I see like the advantages of technology. Yes, of people finding someone who's alone can't connect with the community. They can find a community on a forum or on a YouTube video where they can find their space. I can see that. But it's also taking away the whole actual connection that we have with each other, which creates these deep, I guess, unseen energies that allow us to connect. I also think that empathy is something that's highly lacking in a lot of people, because many people are seeking others to be in agreement instead of to listen. But on the other side, technology, I think, is getting better. I also think self-awareness has become better, or some sort of importance of self-development is slowly improving. Safira, we talked about this. Like, I think the next evolution of humankind is our mindset, of the evolution of the mind instead of something physical.
And emotional intelligence.
And emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
And the next thing would be like, if Elon Musk has his way, we're going to be cyborgs. We might become, there's that, but who knows? We're technically cyborgs right now, where it's just like, it doesn't happen in an instant, where like if I want to move my arm, it does this. We still have to type it in, and for things to happen, we're technically cyborgs in that sense. Technology is getting better. Human connectivity is lessening, but I also think there's an awareness about it. We're leveraging technology to make these things aware. So it's like, it's kind of like a weird cycle or battle of opposites somehow coming together. So my random thought on that. So.
Technology's getting better, but would you guys let your kids date a robot?
Oh man.
What do you mean date a robot?
Like her, like Joaquin Phoenix?
Like, no, like straight up. Okay, kind of. But the embodied version, I'm thinking like iRobot, when there's like the robot that lives in the house and it does all the things for you. Like, what if those have like their own AI, right? And then our kids are like, hey, this is my boyfriend. This is my girlfriend. This is my partner. And it's a fucking robot. I personally will be, whatever's the racist term against robots, I will not let my kids date a robot. I will be robot racist. I feel like there's a line.
Why are you racist against robots? Robot lives matter too,
Humans created, and I don't trust that shit. Humans are fucked up. I don't want my kids dating a fucking robot.
There's that whole argument of like of sentient beings. Like, when the AI or robot becomes smart enough, is it considered a living being because it can think for itself, it can feel for itself?
I'm not ready.
So
That's so
that's such
I hope I die before that shit.
Yeah.
a debate between scientists and humanity, because you're technically killing a being that can think for itself. But I don't know.
Crazy right now is that, like, when you talk about Emery, like the emotional intelligence and stuff, I feel like we have two things happening at the same time. Like the technology is going up and getting way more advanced, and you could have emotionally intelligent robots one day, which is like crazy. But then at the same time, I also feel like what they're improving is people's emotional intelligence and ability to be in actual relationship. Like you're talking about, like couples, like actual relationship with each other that's like aware and present and like it could be healing. Like, I feel like we've gone through all of, like, everyone's parents are divorced and everyone's like gone through all these like these things, and there's just a new wave coming in where I see a lot of people having like really awakened relationships and mature like ability to be emotionally intelligent. And I feel like there's growth happening in all of that, and I see all of that happening at the same time that like robots are coming in.
At the same time, human intelligence is like emotional intelligence is on the rise. Like therapy, I think I'm so glad that the whole thing about therapy is getting better and better.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like not is being less stigmatized.
Yeah, I think people are becoming more self-aware, and it's good. People are growing more mature, and actually getting through their shit. At least that's what I see. But
yeah, I see that a lot. I mean, there's obviously there's spots, there's dents that can be improved, but I feel like eventually the world, like rising tide lifts all boats, that kind of thing. So eventually, whatever will be in, I guess, quote unquote, higher frequency.
I do have a question for Amanda though. So you mentioned like the robot is embodied, right? What if the robot wasn't embodied, like her, where it's more like an emotional support system, and it's not like
living conscious thing.
And I make the distinction of embodiment because humans are like what we perceive, right? So we perceive tools like by like their size. So then this is a cup. And things that are hand-sized are like we perceive them as usable, right? We're not giants, so we don't look at a huge redwood and be like, oh yeah, that's a tool. Like no, like everything is hand-sized. Like, and so our perspective of the world is like based on how we interact with it, right? So if an AI has a body, which means it's gonna be, and it's the same size as us, which means it's gonna be forced to interact with the world in a similar way to us. Whereas if it doesn't have a body, it's like a spirit. So like I just make the distinction. Like I know like from your reaction, like you are against like your children possibly dating a robot, right? Obviously. But like, do you make the distinction between like an AI that's able to, like in her, where she sits on the phone, and she's just like able to give emotional support, or maybe in like Blade Runner where it's just a hologram, right? Versus an actual like not flesh, but an actual like
you can see them,
like an actual like physical entity.
Fear of the
Diego, this is very different from the other podcasts, right, Diego?
Smart House on Disney Channel. Who's seen Smart House?
I haven't seen it.
Smart House is wild. Oh my gosh.
Fucked up everything.
Right.
Okay. Because she was hooked up. Her personage, her shit was hooked up to every fucking thing.
That sounds like Black Mirror.
So it's fear. It's completely fear-based. I'm 100% running on only anxiety and fear at all times. And this is no different. So it's like if they're dating fucking her, like I see it as like, okay, yeah, they kind of had a relationship and yeah, this and that. But it's like at the same time, people fucking watch the whole movie. She was also fucking with like a million other people, right? You don't know. This is a whole different fucking entity. And it could fucking turn off your lights and turn off your fucking internet and control you, okay? And that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of it turning into an abusive relationship because we're so reliant on technology that if you're dating your fucking technology, that shit will control you. And as someone who's seen / been a part of abusive relationships, I feel like it's completely me being afraid of what that experience is going to do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at that... I mean, isn't that the same thing as you being afraid of your child being manipulated or controlled by just another human? I mean, at the same time, like humans are just as shitty as well, and humans are capable of terrible things as well. So at that point, you're kind of just saying that you don't want your child to be married to anybody.
A shitty.
I feel like it's the dependency. I guess that's the worst part because humans suck. That's for damn sure. Humans are the worst. But also, if humans create the AI, it's like this double whammy, right? Because it's like we're already dependent on this shit for like our whole fucking lives. And then we're dependent, like abusive people create a codependency. That's like how they operate. So like if I'm dependent on this person, if my child is dependent on this person as like their whole entire world, their technology is wrapped up in this person can control their technology.
That's a very intense codependency. Their emotional
well-being and everything else is in this person. I'm like, I'm not trying to fuck with that. And I hope I fucking die before people start fucking robots. That's all I'm saying. I'm not.
But you know what is happening? There's people in Japan that are dating a girl named, I don't remember her name. I don't even know. I don't want to say it.
That's hot.
There's some character who's in an app, and there's a whole bunch of Japanese guys that date her.
Mhm.
And
I'm with it.
it's a documentary on Netflix called The Dark Web. And these guys they're all like some of them marry her.
Mhm.
I'm just kidding.
Like she's in their phone, and there's videos of these guys that have had wedding ceremonies with the phone
Mhm.
because they married the character in the phone.
Yeah, there's other instances where it's like an even like a game. Yeah.
Yeah, like marrying the DS or something, right? I think some guy did that.
Yeah, someone married a game in their DS.
Haven't people like been marrying inanimate objects for like the longest time though?
No.
Yeah, I've seen
people get married when they're vegetables, right?
Yeah, hold on, let's see.
That's the fucking difference.
Wait, what'd you say?
The robots that I have in my mind, my mind sphere that I've created, they can also control everything about you. They can control whether or not you receive text from your parents.
Yeah, that's a scary thing. Like the difference with the humans versus AI is like if they're technology, they can go into your Facebook if there's a Facebook or your text.
Hey, a human can do that too. A human can take away your phone service and have a landline. And he can be like, if you answer this phone, shit will happen to you. And so he's the only one that answers it. Mm-hmm. And then every time they call, he can be like, no, she's not here. She's at work. Boom.
But I feel like
same shit.
That's a known entity. I know how to fuck with those motherfuckers. I know how to throw down with those fools because I've done it. But a robot, I've never thrown down with a robot.
Have some water on the bitch. What do you mean?
Throw some water on the bitch. Error. Oh my gosh. Well, this podcast is definitely unique compared to the previous ones we've done.
Definitely unique.
Right, Diego?
Definitely unique.
From existential. Oh my gosh.
Exorcisms to AI.
That shit. I think that's the title of the podcast.
I think it relates, I think it relates. I've seen like there's like a augmented reality. So they have this cam girl, like a girl who worked on the, like the cam chats, and they did like, I think she was wearing like a motion capture. Mm-hmm. So then like all of her movements were captured, and then they put a skin over. So it's like this anime girl. So someone's doing the motion capture, but the face and like everything else is like anime girl, Oh. Dude, she got so many subscribers. It was hilarious, dude, because then like the real people who were doing camming were like, no, we're being replaced.
Yeah,
all of this.
Oh no, I thought that was funny. I don't know.
Imagine a dude just putting on a mocap suit.
Yeah, it could
a voice
be a
changer.
It could be a dude. It could be a dude.
Nice.
Equalizing the cam playing field, because I know dudes are trying to.
The old bait and switch. How dare they?
But so, Safira, I think you were gonna share something.
Oh yeah, all of this makes it more reason to be a dancer, because I feel like dancers are people that embody like spirit, that actually are embodying something real and connecting through the body, and people aren't doing that anymore. People have totally lost touch. So I think that being a dancer is really valuable, because we're the only ones. Like even a musician can be stuck in their head. Like a musician can be like all, out there and doing all their stuff on producing music on the computer and not really being connected and making like beats that are out of like normal time. Like you can create beats now, like you can create things that are out of time, and a dancer is the only one that is still really embodying their own power. And so I feel like we're special. We're the last.
You're the saviors.
Yeah. Yeah, get out of your head and into your heart. So
jeez.
So
Diego.
Jeez, that's a big ass pedestal you're putting dancers on.
But I mean, look at the direction everything's going in. I mean, special.
Because it's like, I think it's the only art form that truly demands full presence of the body and command of it. Whereas working out, you're very conscious like of the reps, the form and all this other stuff. But with dancing, and just from my experience, it's like, it's a combination of like, I feel like both brains, and I feel like it's connected to that study of like how music activates all parts of your brain. So I feel like that because music is really the backbone of dancing, since we're activating all different parts of the brain, and we're then translating into the body. It's like it's just one hell of an art form.
Yeah, and then it makes us feelers, because we're translating all of this intelligence into the body, and we have to move the body, so we have to feel, and people aren't doing that anymore. People aren't feeling anymore, and we're the ones.
Feeling is hard.